We're back to the Neil Haley Show. My guest today is international speaker, teacher, healer, and podcaster Mirabai Devi. Mirabai, how are you? And I'm excited about our topic today.
I'm good, Neil. Thank you so much for having me back on your show.
My-
And yes, we have a lot to talk about. This is the time for us to help people where there's just so much going on the earth right now, all around us in our communities. We need to come together to receive the help that everyone is needing because of the crisis that so many people are in.
All right. So our topic first today, we're going to talk about mentorship programs. Can you define what a mentorship program is with you?
Yes, a mentorship program with me is a one-on-one opportunity in a small group setting. We usually have about 6 people in that group, and I'm available for a month. During that month, we have specific times set, and we come together on Zoom from all over the country or global, depending on where people want to join in from. And during that mentorship program, I am helping with a particular type of work to bring the individual to break through particular issues that they're struggling with by pulling information out that they're not able to access themselves and then working on healing it and manifesting it. We can go into more detail.
Yeah, let's definitely want to kind of go into more detail about that, so that when a mentorship program, how does it look? You kind of talked about it's working with international. Is this online, the mentorship program?
Yes, this is online on Zoom. And we do this on Zoom because I'm able to tune in to the individual's soul and to what's happening inside of them currently and in the past, and provide answers and information that will help them to understand what's going on with them, what's happening with them, and how to heal themselves. And I help them to do the work that's given to me and that's shown for their own healing or their manifestation.
Okay, so let's kind of delve deeper into this. How many usually participate in a mentorship program, and how are you able to tune in with all of them live to help them with specific things?
Yes, so I'm able to tune in with 6 people at a time, maximum 7. And it's very nice because individuals will get on to Zoom, and I'll be able to spend time with each person doing a spiritual intuitive reading to actually access what's really going on with them, what's happening underneath at the causal level, or what I'm picking up about them, or what I see. And people are able to get answers, receive guidance, receive messages, and also then I'm shown the specific work that I need to do on them. And we have enough time because we're working together for a month. Every class I'm getting new information, and every class I have the opportunity to do some work on them to clear whatever the issues are.
And when you're kind of clearing those issues, you identify them and are able to help them during this mentorship session?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yes. I'm able to identify what's happening with them and then help them throughout the month with what's happening inside of them. So we can get into the type of issues in just a minute.
Okay. So let's talk about the issues you're seeing with some of the people that come into the Zoom.
Yeah. So the type of thing that happens is somebody may be working with a particular health concern, and they may not know what it is or what's going on with them or how to even address it or where to find help or what to do about it. So in that case, I might be able to do some kind of like a medical intuitive scan and be able to say, this is what I see is going on with you. And this is where I think you're concerned about something, and that's not what's happening. It could be something else. And here's where, my guidance is saying that you might be able to get the best medical treatment or naturopathic treatment or herbal treatment or protocols that you could follow to help yourself. And so it gives people clear direction, whereas sometimes people just kind of get into a spin. They don't know where to go, what to do, who to talk to, where to find help, what's going on with them. So it clarifies everything to a point of focus. So there's a clearly guided and directed pathway to follow. So that's one example. Do you want to break that down a little bit more?
Yes, definitely. So go ahead.
Okay.
Break it down. Yeah.
Okay. So knowing what's going on with you is half the battle won. When you don't know what's going on with you, so much time, so much energy goes into anxiety, not sleeping, worrying, fear, just kind of spinning and not knowing which direction to turn in. And unfortunately, most people are disconnected from, really, it's hard for us all to see what's going on inside of ourselves. So we need somebody on the outside who is like a spiritual teacher, a psychic, or a medium, somebody who's gifted in that way, medical intuitive, to be able to really see what is happening inside of an individual's body, as well as what's happening on a causal level, and be able to guide someone to access the right way of, taking a course of treatment, but also knowing there's an energetic side, there's a spiritual side, there's a causal side, there's life changes that need to happen. If you're dealing with a particular condition and you're not making the changes in your life that are causing it, that condition is going to perpetuate. So we have to take these things seriously. Sometimes they involve a tremendous amount of life coaching and change of our day-to-day way of behaving, way of thinking, way of acting, and changing our or creating a routine. So this means that we want to get on a health regime, and getting on a health regime could be that we need to exercise every day and move our lymph and get our heart rate and our cardio going. But it also may mean that we need to eat a really clean or pure diet. It may mean that we need to get on certain supplements and minerals and vitamins to boost our immunity or to boost our health in our physical organs. Or it might mean that we need to stop worrying, or we need to, take a dose of self-love, or get out of this anxiety cycle or this fear cycle and work with mantras or affirmations, or actually sit down every day and do a guided visualization, or listen to one of those hemisync with headphone guided visualization or binaural beats or something like that. And while they're doing this kind of thing, they can also find the right doctor or the right naturopath or the right acupuncturist or the right herbal treatment or the right homeopathic to complement all these levels of health. But honestly, it's like, if we're just trying to work with something from the level of the mind or the emotional body, we're never going to resolve it. It's never going to get sorted out. And so that's why I say, knowing what's going on and what to do about it is half the battle won, because then you're just on a path, you're on a course, and you just follow that path, you follow that course, and you're going to get the results, right? Just like if you go see a doctor and they give you certain medicines, and those medicines are great medicines, they're going to work for you. So the same thing when I'm working with people in mentorship, I'm able to put them on a course that is going to either A, help them to heal physically, or B, heal emotionally, or C, heal psychically and spiritually by changing their life on all levels, which changes the effect or the symptoms of what's affecting them. So that's just the case of a health challenge on a physical, emotional, or mental level. Now, it can be that somebody is just dealing with a situation or a circumstance where they're in a conflict in a relationship. And the conflict in that relationship is making them feel unworthy, or making them feel unlovable, or making them feel less than, or making them feel really desperate about themselves or about their relationship. And that kind of a situation can denigrate one's health tremendously, their physical health. So people start getting physically sick, or they're dealing with huge amounts of stress or anxiety because the relationship conflict is wearing them down. It's tearing them down. And so there needs to be resolution. There needs to be peacemaking, and that individual may be encouraged to move away from that situation or that relationship and take some time out to heal and recover and recuperate and rebuild, and then practice a very different type of mental and emotional patterns that don't involve being abused, or don't involve being criticized and judged, or don't involve being worn down or beaten down. And so we need to look at, why are people attracting a relationship where they are being abused, or where they are being mistreated, or why are they allowing it? Why are they attracting it? Why is it happening for you? Because everything is a vibrational match. So if you're in a vibrational match and you're attracting something that you say, well, I don't deserve this, but deep down inside you do believe you deserve it at some level, it may not be in this lifetime, this part of you that feels it deserves it. It may be in another lifetime. It may be on another dimension. It may be another aspect of you. And so I work with people. I'm a seer. I see on different levels. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later at another time, perhaps in another video, about, seeing things for people that other people don't see. And seeing those things are instrumental to help, because what I see in people's energy fields or auras, and also what I see in their internal organs or in their mental, emotional, or physical bodies, are sometimes very distorted, very grotesque, very dense, very sick, and they need to get cleaned up. And often individuals are oblivious or in denial, and they need to be woken up, and they need to learn how to take responsibility for making the change. And let's come back to that, making the change to come from being disempowered or being the victim or being the perpetrator. Because either way, they're stuck in duality. And as long as you're stuck in duality, you're going to either play the role of the victim or the perpetrator, and you're either, the bad guy, or you're being victimized by the bad guy. But it's the same thing. Once you're in duality, everything is going to polarize until you get to a space of unity or oneness. And so a lot of my work is to bring people into taking responsibility for who they are, what they've created, how they've created it, and how they've given their power away by fearing that person, fearing that situation, fearing that individual. Most people take months or years procrastinating to get to the very things that are the most important things for them to be doing in their lives, because they're too afraid. They're too afraid of what's going to happen, and they live in that inordinate amount of fear that paralyzes them and makes them unable to succeed. And when you're clear and remove all that negative mental chatter, and the mind is just simply available to take care of what any given thing on any given day, whether it's making a phone call or booking an appointment or calling someone you're afraid to call, or reaching out for your goal, your dream, your vision, your desire. We don't do it out of fear. And so a lot of my work is to remove those levels of anxiety and fear and negativity that take up so much space, so much room inside of an individual, that it's like coaching them to go beyond this tiny little existence that they're living in out of fear and out of judgment of self. They're never going to go forward and succeed in their lives. And it's not going to change tomorrow or next year or next month unless they change it in the now. And so it takes a tremendous amount of breaking the programs and patterns. I call it the software and the hardware of our thoughts, of our belief systems, of our negative emotions, of our excuses, our mental excuses, and our lineage patterns and our own patterns, and to energize and clear people and bring them into the light enough to have the energy to even be able to make a change. Most people are just so exhausted. They're working 3 jobs. They don't have time to figure out anything because they're working all the time, just in survival mode, that they never really get to working on themselves. So it's time to make that change, because when you work on yourself, then you're able to manifest a much easier, a life of ease and grace.
Okay, so let's talk about the progress that's made in the mentorship program, how you've been able to help people doing this mentorship program, Zooms, and how the progress they've made.
Yeah, so the progress that people make in a mentorship program is they tackle the issue that they haven't been able to deal with. So they face what they're afraid of. They look at what they've been hiding inside, the lies, the pretenses. You know, you can't lie to your body. You can't lie to yourself. You may be able to lie to other people, but your own body will react and eventually manifest disease or paralysis of some level, of some kind. So dis-ease is what I see a lot of people coming in with, and it's not just physical, right? And so the results that I see are over and over and over again, the same thing every time. People taking responsibility because now they have the support and mentorship to take responsibility for what they have created in their relationships and in their health and in their life. And then undoing the power that others have had over them, undoing the power that disease has had over them, undoing the power that conflicts in relationships have had over them, undoing the power that lack or poverty consciousness have had over them, undoing the power of limited energy has had over them, undoing the power of people that have abused them. When we undo all of those things and give people back their power and give them the ability to then automatically awaken, when people go into that state of awakening and then they're able to wake up to what they've been doing and see it, then automatically what I see is health improves. Okay, issues no longer become an issue. Now they find the right healer, they find the right medicine, they find everything they've been trying that's not working, suddenly it works.
Oh, wow.
And their health clears up. Their emotional pain clears up.
Oh, wow.
The depression goes, the fear goes, the anxiety goes, the terror goes, the living in regret and depression and despair goes, the procrastination goes, the inability to function goes, and they become empowered, they become activated, they become in charge of their lives in a way that's healthy. And it's a different thing when people say, well, how can I be of service now that I'm awake and I want to give back? Because now I feel great and I have the energy to give back. I have the understanding, the know-how. Now I want to help other people like you've helped me.
All right.
And that's mentorship.
All right. And where can people find information on it and sign up for this mentorship program?
So they can find information on that program on both the website apoweroflove.com, and that would be apoweroflove.com/store. And also they can find out more by contacting our office at 760-216-1029 or emailing info@mirabaidevi.org. And then they will be able to sign up for a one-on-one mentorship program. I'm going to be starting a new round of mentorship programs just late summer, early fall. These are extremely powerful and life-changing. And I say that a lot of people say those words, but it's a one-off experience. It's something you just sort of experience. You go to an event, it blows your mind. This is different. This is you working on yourself for a month intensively and getting to a breakthrough point, a transformation. It's a really in-depth, deep dive.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, Mirabai. Great information. And thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you so much, Neil.
You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.